What's happening, folks? My name is Robbie and today I'm going to be breaking down my entire investment portfolio. That's index funds, stocks and shares, cryptocurrency, and I've even started to dabble in Forex this quarter. So before we get into it, I just want to mention that this video is for informational purposes. Every time I see someone post a portfolio update, I enjoy watching it. I always find it interesting to see what other people are investing in, how they're investing it, and how their portfolios are either growing or shrinking. So that's the reason I make these portfolio updates. Hopefully one of you finds it interesting and maybe even takes something useful from it. And let me also mention, you might have noticed that I haven't posted any videos since the end of November when I moved into my new house. No real reason for this, to be honest. I've just been really super busy. Moving house, trying to get my old house ready to be sold, Christmas time, so I just decided I was going to take a few weeks to just get on with things and put YouTube on the back burner. Also, I got engaged in December, so that was pretty cool as well. But anyway, let's get into the portfolio. So this video includes index funds like the S&P 500 and the FTSE 250, stocks and shares like Tesla, Apple, Starbucks, and it even has cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the dreaded Shiba Inu. So in my last portfolio update, the portfolio stood at £71,000, and the target that I set for this video was to have the portfolio sitting at £75,000. So I can confirm this target has been achieved, but if you want to know how much I beat it by, you'll need to watch till the end. So starting from the top, we have index funds. I'm currently still holding the same 5 index funds as last quarter. These are the Emerging Markets Index Fund, the S&P 500, the US Equity Index Fund, the Germany All Cap, and the FTSE 250. As always, for each category, I'll mention any newcomers and I'll also mention any stocks or shares that I have sold off in the period, and also the best and worst performers in each category. But another little side note to make is these numbers also include deposits I've made or holdings that I might have sold and then invested that elsewhere. For example, selling some Bitcoin and then investing in Ethereum, for example. So the percentage of either gain or loss per share, index fund, crypto, whatever, take it with a pinch of salt. The main point that I like to focus on is the individual category. Have the cryptocurrency holdings grown as a whole? Have the stocks and shares grown as a whole? And the index funds, have they all grown as a category? And then the total number at the end of the video. As long as the total for the full portfolio has gone up, I'm happy. So in index funds, the biggest gain with a whopping 249% was the Germany All Cap. This is of course because I only recently started buying into this fund, so every deposit that I make towards that fund makes quite a big difference. If the fund is sitting at £100 and I deposit £50 into it, it's a 50% increase, as opposed to the S&P 500 with £30-ish thousand. If I invest £50 into that, it doesn't really move the needle much. The worst performer was the Emerging Markets Index Fund, which also increased but only by 4.29%, partly because I didn't really invest that much more money into it recently. So the Emerging Markets Index Fund, this increased by £59.41 to £1,443.50, and that's a 4.29% increase. Next up is the S&P 500, which is my biggest holding in index funds and also crypto, because I think Bitcoin has dipped again for a bit. This increased by £3,544.94 to £36,966.56, which is a 10.61% jump since last quarter. I think my eyes have just went a little bit baggy there. I've just sneezed about 4 times. The US Equity Fund is next, and as I've mentioned before, I only hold this because I bought it accidentally many years ago thinking it was the S&P 500, and I've just never actually sold it since. Actually, after this video, I'm going to go and I'm going to sell it because it just sits there. I'd be as well investing that into the S&P 500 where I'm meant to invest it in the first place. Either way, it increased by a whopping £3.02 in the last quarter, so a nice pound per month, to £47.32, which is still a nice 6.82%, and that certainly beats having that £47 in a savings account. So the biggest jump now with the Germany All Cap, this went from £120.33 last quarter to £474.50 today. And as I've already mentioned, this includes money that I've invested into the fund over the past 3 months, as well as the fund actually increasing in value. So we've seen an increase of £354.17, which equates to a 294% increase in that holding. And last but not least in the index funds is the FTSE 250, which is another fund that I've only recently started to invest in. So this increase is quite large as well. The FTSE 250 jumped from £73.22 in October to £180.15 today, which as a percentage is an increase of 146.01%. I also hold £126.82 in cash in my Vanguard account. This is mostly just change from my direct debit purchases. For example, If I have a direct debit set up for £100 and a unit of a fund costs £45, the direct debit will purchase 2 units of that fund and the remaining £10 will sit in the account as cash. This usually just builds up a little and then I'll typically invest it in the S&P 500, maybe into the Germany all cap, but for now it's just sitting in cash. So in total for index funds, including that small amount of cash, I'm sitting on £39,239.88. This is an increase of £4,195.28. That's an 11.97% jump. Not to be sniffed at. Next up on the list is a slightly more exciting aspect, which is stocks and shares. There has been a fair bit of movement in this section in the last quarter, with 3 stocks leaving the portfolio, some holdings being partly sold off, some being bought into some more, and I've even added a little bit of Forex trading into this section as well. So because I've been quite active on this in the past 3 months, the biggest losers and the biggest gains is quite hard to quantify. So instead, I'm just going to mention the 3 stocks that have left the portfolio and then get right into the list. Latch Inc., Sunlight Financial Holdings and Proterra, which were in the last update, are gone. If I'm being completely honest, I don't really even remember investing in them, so I just cut them loose. They weren't performing very well, I didn't remember investing in them, so they had to go. Now, starting from the top, we have my favourite, Starbucks. So you may have seen a previous video of mine stating that from now on, whenever I buy Starbucks, I'm also going to set aside the same amount of money that I spend in Starbucks, and when that hits a certain amount of money in the account, invest it back into Starbucks. So since then, I've invested an extra £250 into Starbucks. So it now sits at £431.88, which is a 72.83% increase on last quarter, equating to £181.99, meaning I've actually lost a little bit of money there since I recently invested £250, but I'm only up £181.99. But it's fine, I'm holding this for the long term anyway, so I'm not worried. Next up is Warehouse REIT. So quickly, a REIT is a real estate investment trust, which basically in this instance is you're investing in warehouse space. Warehouse REIT is currently sitting at £675.02. This has increased by 12.69% or £76.04. Berkshire Hathaway, next on the list, £445.28, which is an increase of £39.61. That's 9.76%. Next is Apple. We all know Apple, no introduction necessary. Apple is sitting at £805.80. That's an increase of £162 since last quarter, which is a huge 25.12%. IAG, which is British Airways and a few other airlines, one of the worst performers in the portfolio, sitting at £275.19. This has experienced a drop of 20.35% or £70.32. Argo Blockchain, another pretty steep drop, sitting at £60.60. That's a 19.2% drop of £14.40. I'm just thankful that this one's a small holding, so we haven't lost a lot in money, only percentage wise. Procter & Gamble has done pretty well. If you want to know what Procter & Gamble is, have a look under your kitchen sink, pick up any bottle of cleaning product, Procter & Gamble probably make it. In the past 3 months, my shareholding has increased by 15.69% up to £363.74. Albemarle is next, and it hasn't had a lot of movement, sitting at £172.97. It has increased by 4.64%. Another loser is Scottish Mortgage Trust, dropping £19.36 to £297.22. That's a 6.12% loss. Corsair, not a good one either, dropping 20.72% or £33.92 to £129.80. Again, I'm just happy this one isn't a huge holding. AT&T has also dropped by 6.44% with a loss of £16.57, leaving it at £240.84. But the real bad result in the stocks and shares category is Tilray. Thankfully, it's a bad loss in terms of percentage, but not a bad loss in terms of monetary value. It has dropped 35.77%. Again, just thankful it's a small holding. It's now sitting at £43.78. And the last share in the Hargreaves Lansdown account is Tesla. So I'm sure a lot of you know that Tesla had a pretty decent run up in the past few months. So I sold half of my holdings to lock in some profit from that. So as it stands, my Tesla holding is sitting at £817.72. Included with all these shares, I also have £1,639 in cash in my Hargreaves account. This is just sitting in my account ready to go when I decide I want to invest it. Otherwise, I wouldn't include cash in this video. It's only because it's included in my investment account. The majority of this money pretty much came from me selling half of my Tesla shares. So the next 10 shares are in my Etoro account, which is from my coin flip versus the stock market video that I made last February. And the full result of that experiment will be on my YouTube channel next month. So I'll just run through these very quickly. Spirax Sarco up £5.62 to £161.15. That's 3.61% gain. Experian up £21.76 to £165.83. That's 15.1%. Halma up £11.96 to £147.62. That's 8.82%. National Grid up £25.37 to £145.11. That's 21.19%. JD Sports up as well, £2.03 to £141.25. So a 1.46% gain. Hikma Pharmaceuticals down £6.17 to £105.92. That's a loss of 5.5%. BP up £6.38 to £132.65. That's 5.05% gain. Intertech up £14.94 to £115.88. That's 14.8% gain. Rio Tinto up £3.87 to £88.42. So that's 4.58% increase. And Rolls Royce down £19.82 to £122.33. That's a 13.94% drop. So of the 10 shares in the Etoro account, only 2 were down this quarter, which is not bad considering these were chosen by a coin flip, not by me. One of the new additions in this category is my FREETRADE account, which I opened in October, I believe. This account sits at £109.34, and that's mostly held in Amazon and a few random shares. One of the great things about this account is I've received numerous free shares in it. Some I've sold, but some I've kept a hold of. Basically, how it works is if you click on the link in the description to FREETRADE and create an account, you'll receive a free share worth anything between £3 and £200. And in exchange, I also get a free share worth between £3 and £200, just for referring you to the platform. So we both win in that instance. So if you're looking to take the plunge and get started in investing, click on the link in the description, make an account, just do some research before you invest in any stocks. Another new addition to the stocks and shares category is Forex. So it probably comes as a shock to a lot of you, but I've never tried Forex before. I was going to try it a few years ago and then I discovered crypto, got more involved with that and just never bothered with Forex. But recently I've been speaking with the guys at InvestorWatch. InvestorWatch provides a really good service educating people on cryptocurrencies, Forex and the stock market. I won't lie, I've always been a bit skeptical of Forex. I think it gets a bit of a bad name, but since joining InvestorWatch I've been really impressed. I'm still getting to grips with lot sizes and how much I should be risking per trade. I think I've been risking a little too much on each trade, but I'm still learning just like a lot of other people signed up to InvestorWatch. But I'm really impressed so far. So as it stands just now, my Forex account is sitting at £1,371.41. If you'd like to get involved with InvestorWatch and learn about Forex, investing in the stock market and cryptocurrencies, comment below or send me a message on Instagram at Robbie Corbett _ and I'll help you get set up. So all in with Hargreaves Lansdown, Etoro, FREETRADE and the Forex account, and including the cash waiting to be invested, the stocks and shares category sits at a total of £9,234.43. This is an increase of £2,797.58, which equates to an increase of 43.46% in the last 3 months. And now for the final, most volatile, most stress-inducing category, crypto. So there has been 2 new additions to the crypto portfolio in the form of 2 shitcoins or meme coins, if you're more politically correct than I am. First up is Shiba Inu. Yep, don't ask why, took a punt. And next up is Floki Inu. Not as well known as Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, or any of the other coins that reference dogs in the name. This was a bit of a punt from me and a few of my friends, which in the beginning was up about 45% in the first 2 days. But then, well, you'll see in a minute. So the biggest gain in the crypto category, on paper at least, is Ethereum, and that returned a 30.33% return. The biggest loss doesn't really apply, as I've sold some holdings to invest in other holdings, so I'm just going to leave the biggest loser out of this category. So first up is Bitcoin, sitting at £25,011.03. We all know how much crypto fluctuates, and at one point this was sitting at around £40,000-ish, but easy come, easy go. I'm still holding, so it's not the end of the world. My Bitcoin is still up £3,142.14 over the last quarter, which is a good increase of 14.37%. Next up is Ethereum, sitting at £5,328.84, an increase of £1,240.11, and that equates to a 30.33% gain. Next on the list is Luna, and this was one of my mistakes in the last last 3 months. I thought Luna had peaked, so I sold half of my holdings. I then invested that in Floki Inu. My Luna holdings are currently up 19.97% on last quarter, after selling half, still up 19.97%. So had I kept the Luna that I had, I would have more than doubled my money in that time. But we live and we learn. Luna is currently sitting on £2,657.72, so an increase of £442.31. Ripple is next, another one that I sold some of my holdings in that. Ripple sits at £295.56, which on paper is a drop of 53.78%, but remember that includes profit that I took by selling, so that number is a bit irrelevant. Same goes for the next two coins as well. Cardano sitting at £196.89. Again, sold some of my holdings in this one, so that has affected the return. But quarter to quarter, that's a 67.05% drop in my holdings in Cardano. And then Solana, one of my favourites, which I also took some profit from. Solana now sits at £663.51, a drop of 35.95%. And then the two newcomers, Shiba Inu, which I bought in for £250, currently sits at £170.74, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. And Floki Inu, which is very annoying. Essentially, I sold Luna and some of the others, and I used that money to take a bit of a punt on Floki. We were hoping that this might be one of those coins that gets pumped by Elon Musk tweeting or just something else out of our control. Let me make this very, very clear. This isn't investing, it's speculating, it's gambling. This is no more of an investment than sticking £100 on a horse at the racetrack because you like the colour of the top that the jockey is wearing. Anyway, I invested £2,000 into Floki Inu, roughly, and within a day or two it was up 45%. Me and my friends joked that we weren't selling until it hit 10x, which is crazy, but it has happened to a lot of coins. I should have taken the money and ran. The Floki holding just now sits at £983.40, so down over 50% since I bought in. So my thought process is, in my head, that money is gone. I'm going to let it ride forever. Maybe one day it'll get a nice pump. Or even better, it might actually get some sort of value or utility and people might actually want to buy it rather than just hoping it goes up or down. So I'm either going to hold this until it goes to complete zero, and then I won't care anyway, or until I'm back in profit and I'll sell, just whichever one comes first. So that brings us to the end for crypto. Before I go into the totals, I thought I should mention the platforms that I use to invest in crypto, just in case anyone else wants to get involved and are not sure where to start. So for my recurring purchases of Bitcoin and Ethereum, I use Coinbase. I'll stick a link in the description to Coinbase. Similar situation to FREETRADE. If you sign up through this link, you'll receive around £8 worth of Bitcoin for signing up, and I'll receive £8 worth of Bitcoin for referring you. The same goes for Blockfi, which is where I store my Bitcoin and Ethereum. The reason for this is they pay interest on your crypto holdings, so this is why I hold a decent chunk of my crypto holdings with them. If you use the link for Blockfi that I've put in the description, you'll also get free Bitcoin for signing up. And then for some of the other coins and buying and selling different ones, I use Binance, and I don't think there's a code to be used, so just use Binance if you want. Anyway, total numbers for crypto are as follows. Last quarter, the crypto portfolio sat at £30,445.80. It has now increased to £35,307.59. This is an overall jump of £4,861.79, a nice gain of 15.97% in the past quarter. Now, I know all you guys who invest in crypto regularly and have been doing so for a few years are not impressed by 15%, but let's not forget, a 15% increase on anything, it's pretty decent. If you could make your portfolio gain 15% every quarter on anything, that would be an incredible return. For example, if you had £10,000 and you increased that holding by 15% every quarter, in 10 years it would be worth £2.6 million. So I'm very, very happy with a 15% increase in 3 months. So that's it, time for the final numbers. Last quarter, the total portfolio sat at £71,926.25. The target that I set for this video was to be at £75,000, which would be a 4.27% increase. I'm happy to say that the portfolio has smashed past that target and has achieved a total of £83,780.90. So an actual increase of £11,854.65. A whopping 16.48% return in 3 months. So the crypto market has been taking a bit of a hit recently. It's been very up and down. So that number would have been slightly higher had I made this video a month ago. I think when I was totaling it up a month ago, it almost hit 90,000. But can I really complain at nearly £12,000 in 3 months? Of course I can. Fingers crossed I can make some of my money back on Floki Inu and Shiba Inu by next quarter. And the only thing left to do in this video is to set the target for next quarter. Ideally, I'm happy with adding 5% onto my portfolio every quarter. I know that may seem low, but when you put it into perspective, it's actually extremely high. Working from the £83,000 I have in my portfolio just now, if I could average 5% per quarter until I was 65, my portfolio would be sitting at £111 million by the time I retired, which is of course completely absurd thinking that that's going to happen, but it's a nice target to strive for. So I think I'm going to set a base target and a target that I would like to get to per quarter. The base target is going to be 5%, so I would like to always make 5%. That's the minimum I'm aiming for. But to overachieve, I'd like to hit 10% per quarter. Of course, eventually my portfolio is going to take a dip, and that's fine. I'm expecting it. I'm not worried about it. But I might as well set some decent targets while things are going well. So baseline target for next quarter at 5% means I'm shooting for £88,000 by March. And the real target, which is 10%, means I'd like to achieve £92,000 by March. Not entirely impossible when crypto's involved. In all honesty, when crypto's involved, I might hit those targets next week, who knows. Will I achieve the target by March? Well, you'll need to subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified of the next portfolio update and see how we get on. Thank you again for watching, folks. I appreciate you sticking around this far into the video if you have, and I'll see you again next week. Take it easy.